Very good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Today we have Dr. Swati Adappa with us from Orange Dental Clinic. The name itself is very unique. I always wondered why dental clinic having a name Orange Dental Clinic. So we'll get started with my first question pertaining to the name that you have for your clinic. What is the motive behind such a nice name?
No, it's actually the thing is I have done quite a research with the clinics. Everything related like smile, 32 teeth, I-10, all that are related to teeth only.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted something unique name where people won't forget it.
Right.
So I ended up naming it. Then I saw my Apple phone. Why not Orange? So I come up Orange Dental Clinic.
Wonderful. Doctor, now coming to your profession, what made you to choose dentistry as a profession?
See, actually, first I have taken my BPC. Then I wanted to pursue biotechnology, but I have given my entrance exam MCET. During our time, it was a MCET exam. So I have given MCET exam also, and then I have given for All India Veterinary Test also. So then my grandfather, he was like, "Why don't you join dental?" Because it's in his place, Vizag, Visakhapatnam. So then I just went like that. It was actually, to be frank, accidentally it happened. But I don't know. I must say I'm lucky to fall in love with dental.
Right.
I found it very passionate, and I liked it very much.
Oh, that's very good. Nice to know that you accidentally went into the profession, but then you fell in love with it, because rarely that happens.
Correct.
Yeah. And it is nice to see that your passion itself has become your profession.
Yeah,
Very
actually,
few
because
people get.
very few people know what dental is. Even I didn't know till I joined that. When I joined, I was slowly when I got to know more depth, and that too I'm into artist, drawing, painting, and all. And when I do the cavities, when they become like a natural tooth, when you bring that finish and all, that gives gives me a kind of happiness and all. Even after like 10-15 years of practice, still I get the same this thing. When I fill a cavity, that comes that
Nice.
happiness.
Very nice, very nice. Coming to today's younger generation, most of them have this doubt in their mind: should we get into MBBS or should we get into BDS? So, do you have any formula for these students to decide how they should choose the profession, or
Yes.
on what basis they should decide?
During our time, dental people who have taken dental, if you ask, everybody would tell, I didn't get seat in MBBS, so I took dental.
Right.
But that is not the scenario now. People are actively pursuing for dental, because there is a lot of scope also. Yeah, many dentists are coming out. There is kind of saturation in a couple of cities also, but still there is a need. Indian population is so high. We need dentists, but through passion. You should like it.
Correct.
Then only you will be able to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
After completing second PUC, what are the further steps that a student should pursue to get into BDS?
Actually, through NEET only you have to get into BDS. There is no individual other entrance exams for that. So through NEET, you can get all the dental colleges. And in that, many categories A, B, and C are there. Management and free seats, all the quotas are there. And then like BDS is for 5+1, 5 years of studying and 1 year of internship. Okay, and during that course of time, you can do other courses also, like all the separate courses are there where you can implant courses and all. Those you can pursue.
Okay. For a common man, how it appears to be is, it is early morning, you get up, you brush your teeth, before bed you brush your teeth, and a common man's world surrounds, it revolves just around these aspects when we say dentistry. But you said that it is 5 plus 1 more year, so 6 years of dentistry. What exactly you learn? Can you tell us what are the different streams that come under this dentistry?
Yeah, actually, even my husband is an oncologist. He tells for tooth, what are you studying so much? Because we 5+1 we study BDS, and then again MDS we study for 3 years. So it's like you have to prepare yourself for 8 years of
course.
course. So that see, in teeth, cavity filling is one specialization. In that again, root canal is one specialization, and then teeth sets. To give different teeth sets, fixed teeth sets, removable teeth sets, all our options are there. That is again different course. And the braces putting, again it's a different course. And gums surgery specialist, gums, again it's a different course. So I am specialist of gums.
Okay.
So I have done my MDS in that. So there are 8 to 10 courses more, non-clinical also there. X-rays studying, and oral surgery is there, where all the surgeries can be done with the joints, and also impacted teeth removal, all that. So many teeth removing itself is a different course again.
Okay. Dr. Swati, that you are very famously known as a periodontist, the gum specialist. Was it not a difficult decision for you to decide what specialization you should get into?
Actually, even this I will tell you what, that also is like that only. See, yes, if you get a good rank, you will have options. But if you are particular about college and all, you have to choose what they give you.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So in that, I had options in non-clinical ones, but clinical ones I got only gum surgeries.
Okay.
Periodontist. So, but I will say thank God there also, because I wouldn't have loved any other subject than this.
Okay.
It is very, when I'm doing it, I liked it so much. That also like that only, like dental only, periodontist, I loved it very much.
Okay.
So yeah, I have chosen that like that only. When you give the entrance exam for MDS, you get to choose all the branches.
Okay.
You can choose clinical or non-clinical. I am very much interested treating patients.
Yes, yeah. And for those students who want to pursue their dental studies in international destinations, what would you like to say? What are the skill sets that they can acquire in addition to what do they get to study when they pursue their education in India?
Yeah, actually, basically what and they can immediately after PU they can directly go for foreign countries, but at that age they will be very young and very expensive. Okay. So suppose otherwise they can choose BDS here. They can do the Bachelor of Dental Surgery here, and then pursue their post-graduation outside. Okay. Outside, there are again selective countries. Like for example, like Canada and Australia, they accept BDS. So you just need to clear those TOEFL and other entrance exams and can pursue post-graduation there. Okay, but not in USA. Countries like USA and all, they won't accept. So what you have to do after your BDS, you have to clear their entrance exam and do DDS. There it is called DDS.
Okay.
So 2 years of DDS, then you can pursue your post-graduation. Or you can practice with your DDS only. Okay. Otherwise, you have to do your MDS here. But again, when few countries are asking for work experience, so after BDS, you can while clearing those entrance exams, you can work 1 or 2 years here in the clinics or any college for that matter, and then get that experience certificate also. It will make easier for you to go there and also for you to get part-time jobs with these recommendations.
Is there any significant benefit of going abroad and pursuing studies?
Yeah, it's like what here few cities, as I told you earlier, they are saturated. Okay, but there is a job. Okay, I would say what is the good thing that if you pursue it outside, it will be like economic wise, you will be making more money there, and you will be practicing for definite number of hours. It's not like here. So everything is scheduled and more like their insurance pays.
Correct.
So all that is there, but difficulties are there on both sides.
Of course. So you're saying studying abroad would help students to organize their life better,
Yeah.
organize their work situations better,
Correct.
and learn better things, better exposure that they can get.
Yeah.
Dr. Arappa, what we have noticed is many a times after pursuing dentistry, most of the doctors they go back to the academics or into the research side. But in your case, you chose to be on the clinical practice side. So, being a clinical practitioner, what is the value addition that you are doing to the society? You can throw some light on that.
Yeah, see, actually, I myself, before I pursued my BDS, I really don't know what dental hygiene is, how teeth are maintained, and all. So after doing my BDS, I realized how important oral health is for maintenance of general health also.
Okay.
And I have seen many kids mainly suffering because of lack of knowledge. When you have to treat, how you have to treat, and all, why you have to visit a dentist, all that. So what I started is immediately after opening my clinic, I started conducting camps, dental camps, where I will give talks on oral health, hygiene, maintenance, and all. And I have conducted like more than 30 camps till now, 3 dental checkup camps.
Okay.
And then so now actually I have seen little improvement where kids are answering me if I'm asking the questions and all. Now, but the main target now I am shifting it to parents.
Okay.
So now I asked the schools for annual day if I can give a talk to the parents so that their knowledge will increase, because kids are not the decision makers.
Correct.
So like that. So few schools have given me permission.
Oh, wonderful.
So I hope it works out.
Oh, very nice, very nice. It's very good to know that you are also into creating awareness and on the oral hygiene. Now, when it comes to kids, at what age kids should start consulting a dentist?
See, I would say actually when teeth come, they should come.
Okay.
Because the thing is, many parents don't realize is the teeth will fall off. No, permanent teeth will come. So why treat them? But the thing is, all teeth once they won't fall off.
Correct.
Okay, few teeth fall only at the age of 6. Few teeth fall at the age of 10. So if the teeth which fall off at 10 get spoiled at the age of 3, I will be forced to do root canal for that small kid. Okay, so they should maintain that till 10, right? So we can't remove. Removal is not an option.
Right.
So we have to do root canals at that age. One kid I have ended up doing 3 root canals at the age of 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one more is at the age of 6 you get permanent teeth behind ones.
Okay.
And the parents get confused whether that is a permanent or temporary.
Oh, very true.
And the permanent one gets spoiled, and as they grow, permanent one is not there.
Right.
So at that age, we have to replace the teeth.
Oh, it's that critical.
Critical.
Okay.
So as a parent, you will be confused which one is what. So instead of that, if you see a black spot or anything, without waiting for pain, if you bring the kid to the dentist, without pain means kids also will be happily getting treatment done. So that is the main thing I wanted parents to know.
Okay. Okay. Other than brushing the teeth in the morning and the bedtime, do you have any simple suggestions which?
Yeah, I would say the main thing is gargling. Immediately after anything other than water, you put anything in your mouth, juice, snacks, or whatever it is, you have to gargle your mouth. See, many parents know, no, I'm giving very healthy food to my kid. Nowadays, if you give rice and chapati at home also, I would say it is not healthy. Because, see, rice has become a polished rice.
Right.
Okay, even wheat flour you are getting is a refined wheat flour. Right. Lifestyle has changed.
True, very true.
Okay, from that time, generation has changed. This generation now, recently I have conducted a camp. Out of 100 kids in one class, 90 kids have cavities. 90 kids.
Okay.
And all are like 8th, 9th, 10th. 8th, 9th, 10th, it's all a permanent teeth. That means how they will manage later.
Of course, yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So that is what I wanted parents to realize is just because they fall off, it is not correct to maintain like that. Okay? Now nothing is healthy.
Okay.
And just I am brushing morning and night. Why I am getting cavities?
Right.
Why you have no answer?
True.
Our lifestyle and everything, it depends on saliva content. It depends on many other things, and pollution is so much.
True. Yeah.
And weekly once at least you will eat out.
Right.
Correct. all those things have changed. Now, can we go back to that lifestyle? No, we can't. Even you see, sweet corn has come. Normal corn you can't find.
Yes.
So much fiber content is not there
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So you can't go back to that life. So you better take precautionary measures,
Right.
like getting cleaning done every 6 months. There is a fluoride treatment for kids. They can get fluoride treatment done every 6 months, like that.
Okay. Okay. There are a lot of these mouth fresheners coming. So when you say gargling,
No,
do you
just
what
simple
kind of gargling?
normal water.
Okay.
Normal water immediately after having food, gargle your mouth.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and don't miss nighttime brushing.
Mhm.
Compulsory brushing is needed. Right.
Oh, there's a lot to know about maintaining a good the dental hygiene or oral hygiene. Thank you so much. We'll connect with you once again for more knowledge on this aspects.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thank you, doctor.